I see you, sweethearts. It's Michelle Visage. Welcome to another episode of Whatcha Packin. And joining me today from Scotland via New York City, it is Rosé. Hey, darling.
Hey, Michelle, what's up?
How are you, sugar? So good to see you.
It's great to see you too. I'm wonderful. I'm so great.
You should be. Top 4, baby. You did it.
I did it, yeah.
Calm down. Don't get too excited, Rosé.
Oh, Michelle, please, I can relax a bit more now. The competition is done, at least for the filming portion, so.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. So you are a bit of a New York City legend. You're in Stephanie's Child with Jan and another queen. What's the other queen's name?
Her name is Laguna.
Who's fierce as well, and I'm expecting to see her one of these days on the main stage, I'm sure.
I sure hope you do.
But you got further than Jan. A sister's a sister, but there's always like, damn you. What was it like? Were you like, psst?
That rivalry, of course, exists in our sisterhood. You know, it's just like when Jan got on season 12, that was the first year that both of us auditioned. And when she told me that she was going to go on, we had to get her ready. That also stung me a little bit. I will say Jan has been like nothing but supportive and absolutely thrilled for me, which is a testament to how wonderful of a friend she is.
You in this competition were ruthless, relentless in the competition part, and that's kind of what it takes to make it in this business. But you are a bit of a perfectionist, shall we say, which I saw get in your way quite a few times, and I called you out for it quite a few times. Towards the end, when you started letting it go, did you feel the release, and did you feel what happened when you were able to hand it over to the universe and just let it happen?
I did, and it was a really big life lesson. I talked about this on the show as well. Being a perfectionist is something I've struggled with for years. Also something I've celebrated. You think of the world's greatest artists, some of my favorite artists who I look up to, like Beyonce is a perfectionist. It's not a bad thing, but it has gotten in my way. And when I was able to really just kind of say F it, like a lot more than I'm usually ready to, especially when the stakes are high, it was not only in my favor in the competition, but I was having fun. And I felt very, very present. I felt in the moment, and I also was enjoying and cultivating real loving relationships with my castmates, with my sisters, and not just thinking about the competition.
Well, you did just say loving relationships, and maybe there's one in particular in the last Good and Queen called Denali.
Oh, is that so? What's the tea? You tell me, Mama. Sounds like you know more about it than I do.
A little birdie flew in from Alaska to tell me there may be something special brewing.
Oh my gosh. Well, the birdie has told you before it's told me, Miss Thing. You know what? I think right off the bat, when we were filming, Denali and I, we were in the same half of the cast at first, the pork chop half, and we really connected. I think we fell in love with each other's abilities, our skill sets, our aesthetics, and we started becoming really great friends. When you're out there, isolated, you don't have a phone, we both have boyfriends, when you can't talk to them,
Yeah.
Denali's very cute. Yeah, I mean, sure, maybe the thought crossed my mind. Nothing's happened yet.
Listen, I've been married for 24 years, and thoughts are what keep us going. You know what I mean? Whatever your situation is, whatever her situation is, respect it. We're not meant to just be in a box. We're meant to look and enjoy our minds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if we don't order something, it's okay to look at the entire menu.
I agree.
And I love to go out to eat.
Don't we all, honey? I love to scan a menu. You just mentioned the pork chop room.
Yeah.
And you were a bit shook about losing that lip sync to Olivia, were you not?
Absolutely. It was very, very surprising to me. Not so much that Olivia had beat me in the lip sync, because Olivia is very talented, and I knew that going into the competition. It just surprised me that I came in feeling really confident, obviously really prepared, as I showed later throughout the competition, thank God. I couldn't believe that maybe it was all over. And also, I'm known for being a pretty good lip syncer in New York, so I was like, I did not just come here and f up the very first thing that is the actual thing I get paid to do. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it shook me up.
It's very much a blast to the ego. Been there, actually there quite a bit, and you sit there and you're going, am I getting this whole thing wrong? Like, am I not even in the right profession? So sometimes it definitely makes you question yourself, but I'll never forget your expression when that happened. You were literally like, you're kidding, right? Like, this, I didn't do... And when you found out, were you like, okay, now the game can begin?
I absolutely was, but I will say it did take me a second to really focus and get back on track, because as you said, it was a blow to my ego.
Sure.
I am very grateful for that blow because it gave me a fantastic arc throughout the competition, and it gave me what I needed to really grind my teeth and figure out how to get where I ended up, which is exactly where I wanted to be, in the top 4 at the end.
And when you saw your New York City kind of sibling rivalry sister Tina Burner, were you like, aha, the game is on, bitch. I'm gonna show you once and for all who's queen?
Oh, absolutely. Of course I was. Michelle, I'm serious. Look, back in New York, it's like most serious drag queens are doing drag full time. That's their only gig, that's how we pay the bills, and therefore it's so competitive. Tina and I are no stranger to having to compete with each other for spots and gigs, you know? So that was actually kind of fun to get to do.
You have 3 wins under your belt. When you first came for the fashion show, and I think you called yourself a fashion clown, it was like, I have you totally wrong in my head to the way that you saw yourself. And then as you started to open up, I was like, nope, I was right, she was wrong. I think that you are so much more than the hole you put yourself in. Like, you are so expressive and fun and wonderful, and it took us a while to get there because of, like you said earlier, there's nothing wrong with being a perfectionist. I'm a Virgo, Beyonce's a Virgo, I get it. Now, I'm not comparing myself to Beyonce, calm down. There's nothing wrong with perfectionism and striving for perfection until it gets in the way of enjoyment and furthering what you can do. And once you let go and you started doing it, you had me in stitches. You won the Rusical. You just were so funny when you were just going for it. And it was like, there she is. In the beginning, I doubted you were gonna get even as far as Jan. And you are now in the top 4. And I very much wholeheartedly believe you deserve to be in the top 4.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It's so interesting because I started doing drag to take myself out of the theater box and be able to do whatever I wanted. And it's funny that it kind of recycles, and it's a reminder to me that we have to continue learning these lessons in life because we go in waves, we grow, and we have to reassess. It was mind-blowing to me to get to Drag Race and realize, oh my God, I put myself in a box again.
That's a theater kid thing, Rosé. We've trained so hard and so specifically in method acting, in performing for the back row, in changing your focus, like doing things that we know we have to do when we sing a song or when we do a scene. That's why you killed it in the acting challenges. But when it comes to being you, and it comes to being ourselves, we're so used to doing that box thing of what we were taught by doing it right and doing what our professors and our teachers taught us that we lose ourselves. When you're in a girl group, you have the same thing. You have your choreography, you have your songs, you know what you're doing on that part of the stage. But when you're on Drag Race, we're asking you to let that all go because your professionalism is going to stick with you anyway. I think in your case, you were able to hear it just in time before the ball dropped. And then you were able to pick it up and run with it. And that's why you are standing here. You deserve to be here. You were incredible. And it just made us love you when you let us in. Does that make sense?
Oh, of course it does. I'm so thrilled to be here, truly. It was a wild ride and I'm very proud of myself.
If I said to you, Rosé, you can redo one challenge and make it the way you would want it to be, is there one that you would do that for?
The very first acting challenge, I didn't do what you just described. I kind of put myself into a box. I think because I was still so shook up from the first episode where I lost at something I thought I could always win at. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget, we were casting the roles and Simone does not have nearly as much acting experience as I do. Simone was like, I want this role, I want to play the lead and this and that. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll be like the funny character. I'm very comfortable doing that. I wish I would have kind of did what Simone did and immediately plant my heels into the ground that way. But Simone actually, actor or not, won that challenge. And deservedly so, like she was fantastic in it. So I think owning my space a bit more and believing in myself, even while the pack was not thinned out, that is something I would have changed early on.
Assertion and standing up for what you want. I think that's an important lesson too. And this gorgeous dress here we wore in the final. Why did you choose this one? I think I know why, but why did you choose this one for the final?
I've had a dream, if ever I got on Drag Race, that I wanted to be a Highland princess, Highland royalty of sorts as I'm walking down the runway. And I really wanted to pull from inspiration from Alexander McQueen, put my own spin on it. We found this tartan that is not significant to my heritage, but it's a beautiful tartan.
Do certain families and certain heritage and certain sections have different tartans? Is that how it goes?
Tartans align with your last name, if not like further back a clan that you descend from. So my last name is actually Irish. I'm Scottish by Irish descent. It's very common now, especially in fashion, for people to stray from their tartan. Like if I go to a family wedding, it's usually the family tartan. At my wedding, I'm planning on wearing a full bridal kilt, which will be white or cream colored from head to toe. Because Mama, I may not be in drag, but I'm sure as wearing a skirt, so.
Yes! I love that about Scottish weddings. I think it's amazing.
And Denali can wear a tux, you know, so.
A tux with ice skates, honey.
And she can just skate right away so I can actually go home with my boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, I am so happy for you, Rosé. You really worked hard for this one. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. Good luck on the final.
I'm so ready.
You gotta be ready because you don't know what Ru's gonna throw at you. You don't know what's gonna happen, but I know that if you just let yourself enjoy it and you get in it, then you'll be unstoppable. So I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
Congrats, honey. Thank you so much. That was another episode of Whatcha Packin. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. Subscribe to the Drag Race YouTube channel for all things Drag Race.